Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to KPW Mayhem. It is I, Tapey Styles, calling the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. And tonight, we have a night of pure chaos and pandemonium to bring to you. 3 championship bouts, a grudge bout, a parking lot brawl, and questions that will be answered all here on the program here tonight, including our main event to a war that has been waged over the course of the past 10 months for the World Heavyweight Championship, the third and final bout in KPW's most pivotal match trilogy in company history. Pierre Cinema goes one-on-one against Jedi for the third and final time inside of a steel cage for the World Heavyweight Championship. Also to come for the Twitch Championship, we'll be seeing Popcorn Poppy defend the title against the Sauce and Josue. Also to come, Tag Team Championships up for grabs. Bob and Tape in the midst of their historic Tag Team Championship reign comes across quite possibly the largest confrontation in their reign so far, the largest threat to their championship run against Kruger, Papyrus, Chaos Control. Also to come, singles action, grudges to be settled here tonight as Robbie Deuce seeks to finish the job that he started all the way back in the winter after he broke the arm of Chris Billy. Chris Billy battles here tonight for retribution. Also to come later on tonight, we will be seeing Pando, the Siberian Silver Bear, take on the War Machine Slarty in a parking lot brawl, a first time ever stipulation here at KPW to wrap things up where they all began before, between those two absolute monsters during KPW. But to kick things off here, as it comes to my understanding, our resident interviewer Roger is standing backstage with the Scrapyard Saint as he hopes to get an answer to the challenge, as we hope to get an answer to find out who the ringleader has been over the course of the past several weeks. Let's get those cameras on good old Roger and of course the Scrapyard Saint solo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mayhem. To my left here is a man of determination, heart, wit, and soul. I am of course referring to the Scrapyard Saint. Solo, you've been looking to get your hands on this ringleader for the past several weeks. Between that mysterious valet, Chaos Control, and whatever connection they share, do you think this challenge will meet your expectations?
You know, Roger, whoever this dear leader is, I just don't think he's gonna meet my expectations. I'm ready for a fight, as always. I didn't get to become the Scrapyard Saint by running away from fights. Papyrus and Kruger are gonna get their asses kicked by Bob and Tape later on. And I think that British chick is into me.
I don't think she's into you, but it's all right, son. There's other fish in the sea.
Yeah, probably not, Roger. It's always the crazy girls that end up being the hottest. Not that you'd remember. You're pushing 90 at this point, pal. But
here.
damn.
Our dear leader has arrived. I can't wait for you to meet him solo. He's flown out here to deal with you quite personally. And no, I would never bunk up with a peasant like yourself. I tell you to grow up and break out of that perverted lubber shell of yours, but that won't be my job tonight. That will be his. We'll see you shortly, Solo. Should have stepped aside when you had the chance.
Well, if he's here, let's get down to the ring. Why wait any longer, right? I'll see you down there.
And it appears to the dismay of the scrapyard Saint, I don't think that British chick is into him for 1 second. But what he is about to be getting into is one hell of a fight, as we apparently have the arrival of the ringleader, the dear leader that's been carrying out all these missions for Chaos Control and that valet to undertake. That's a tune that's quite familiar. What? The Monarch is the ringleader? Oliver English is back! We haven't seen him since February. Oliver English and Solo, they share quite a bit in common here. Both of these men were on the receiving end, taken out of action over the course of the winter by the director, Steven Spielberg. We haven't seen Oliver English in action since February. We haven't even seen a peep of him up until just a couple moments ago. Many fans have been wondering what the inaugural KPW World Heavyweight Champion has been cooking up behind the scenes, why he's been so reserved and so quiet. It's not like Oliver English to be this reclusive, but now it appears we have one hell of an answer here. Oliver English preparing a British invasion here to KPW. And he's found one hell of a team to carry out the initial phases of his bidding here. Solo asked for a fight here tonight, and he's looking to be in one hell of a fight here if he's gonna go up against the Monarch. Knife edge chops, collar and elbow tie up, Irish whip into the turnbuckle here. Always looking to put things away as quick as he possibly can. And look at the shape that he's in compared to before. He has to have at least bulked up at least 20 pounds in the time that he's been gone, in the time that he's been away recuperating, recovering, plotting his way back into the folds. What a shocking development we've seen here tonight, just to kick off Mayhem, and we still have one hell of a card to present to you here tonight. We still have a parking lot brawl to bring to you. We still have 3 championship bouts, including our main event bout for the World Heavyweight Championship inside of a steel cage. Pierre Cinema challenges Jedi one final time for the World Heavyweight Championship. And nobody knows more about being the World Heavyweight Champion than Oliver English, the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion, as he continues to dominate the Scrapyard Saint in our opening bout here tonight. Solo trying to find any moment to pick out a weakness out of that Monarch. Oliver's in such amazing shape. This has to be the best physique we've ever seen him in. Oliver English looking to go for that leg lariat. Solo ducks it. And oh, Oliver English going low on the Scrapyard Saint there. Forearm smash taking down the challenger. Solo's had quite a decent amount of run-ins here over the course of the past month with the inklings of Oliver English. That valet that we now know has the name Tori. Quite apropos, if you ask me. Of course, Chaos Control, one of the largest tag teams that we've ever seen here in KPW history. A team that will be going up in action later on tonight against Bob and Tape for the KPW Tag Team Championships. Both these men have seen a tumultuous ride here over the course of the history of KPW. Solo has yet to win championship gold here in KPW. Oliver English has yet to reclaim any gold ever since he lost the World Heavyweight Championship almost a full year ago. This is his chance to regain his personal glory. This is his chance to get the spotlight back on to the Royal Highness here. Oliver English up to the top rope here. Big splash down to the floor. Count of 5 here. Slap thigh Jones calling the action. As always, our lead official, our head official. Back suplex onto the padding on the outside. Oliver English looking for a baseball slide, but Solo leaps over to get into the ring here. While Oliver English may call himself a monarch, he's certainly not fighting as chivalrous as one may think here. More low blows, more below the belt shots to the Scrapyard Saint. Rope break called in. Another low blow from the Monarch. Doing anything that he possibly can, taking whatever measures that he can make the most out of just to stay ahead of the ferocious, effervescent, brave, and valiant Scrapyard Saint Solo. These two men sizing each other up. Looking to spot a weakness in the pattern. Looking to find some method to the madness. Wrist lock counter from Oliver English. Dropping down the elbow on Solo. Lateral press cover. 2. Kick out from the Scrapyard Saint. Running knee lift. Catching Solo right on the chin there. That could be a real knockout blow to Solo if he's not careful. Running leg lariat into the back of the neck of Solo. An elbow strike from Oliver English going into the crossface, but Solo's right at the ropes there. Missile drop kick. Reverse suplex from Oliver English. Another pinfall attempt. Another kick out from Solo. Back body drop from the Scrapyard Saint. Arm smash. for Oliver English, for the Monarch, for the dear leader, the ringleader. This is all about reclaiming his place in the KPW totem pole to get one step closer, becoming a two-time world heavyweight champion. For Solo here tonight is about picking up the biggest victory in his career now. When Solo put the challenge out, when he put himself in harm's way, he never could have imagined how deep the rabbit hole could run here. And it appears he's awoken a sleeping giant in a Monarch as he pushes him back into the corner here in the Kumite Palace. Another low blow from Oliver English, trying to keep the momentum on his side here. Trying to keep Solo down here, but Solo's fired up here. Ollie trying to keep him down once again here, as he now works on the legs, those big lumbering legs of Solo. And for a man the size and stature, the build of the Scrapyard Saint, you wouldn't expect such agility from this man. Solo running the ropes here, faking out Oliver English, but Ollie used that opportunity to roll back into the ring here. And now he's making Solo pay for his hesitation, his bloviation, his ego getting in front of him. Back kick counter, sweeping the leg of the Monarch, who once again responds with a low blow. Tombstone pile driver from the ringleader. Board buster, transition into a lateral press, center of the ring, 2 count once again. Solo stays alive in this bout. The kickoff mayhem. Suplex cover, nice bridging transition from the former world heavyweight champion. Big haymaker from Oliver English, ramming Solo's head into the turnbuckle there. Looking for another gourd buster, but Solo lifts him up over the head and down into the corner. And whatever advantage the Scrapyard Saint tries to pick up, Oliver English has been right there to cool him off. Another tie up here, collar and elbow. Tombstone pile driver. Oliver English looking to polish it up once again with a diving headbutt, but Solo moves out of harm's way. Now we see the ego of the Monarch settling in here. Built a whirl, backbreaker, cover, kick out from Solo. And the Scrapyard Saint's been on the ropes from the very beginning here. Ollie looking to go for broke here with a senton to the outside. Ollie trying to rip away some foreign objects from the Kumite faithful in the opening rows here tonight. Frankensteiner from the top. looks like the Monarch, he's signaling for the end here. He's signaling to put away the Scrapyard Saint. But Solo continues to fight. He's as courageous as he was when the bell rang. The plancha from the top rope down to the floor here. Oliver English retrieving that replica Lethal Lottery briefcase. And now he's beating Solo with the foreign object. Anything goes here in KPW. The only way to be disqualified is by reaching a time limit draw or outside interference. Many combatants here in KPW fight amongst a code of honor. And it appears that there is no honor amongst thieves, especially the likes of Oliver English. Jumping heel kick to the back of the neck of Solo, looking to go into a bow and arrow submission hold here. Solo up against the ropes and sent from one corner of the ring across to the other. Leg lariat into the corner. And Oliver English has been in complete control of this opening bout. He's looking to lead by example here. He's looking to make an example out of Solo for trying to besmirch the name of Oliver English, besmirch all the work that he's put in over the course of the past several weeks, if not longer. How long has he established this contact with the valet? How long has he established contact with Chaos Control? When did he call in these favors to pull these strings together and organize a hostile takeover? He goes for another low blow. Solo in position for the Big Ben. And Oliver English has picked up a crucial victory in his comeback here to KPW. As we get a look at that Big Ben, the move that he used to win the World Heavyweight Championship over a year ago. The move that he used to defeat Tate back at Fully Loaded in 2024 in less than 4 minutes. Perhaps a bit of ring rust has settled in for the Monarch, but he was able to put down the Scrapyard Saint in convincing fashion here tonight. And this feels like the start of something quite sinister here regarding all these parties involved. What ulterior motives does Oliver English have coming back to KPW here? But it appears there's enough time for talk coming up next. As I understand, we have cameras ready to roll in the parking lot of the Kumite Palace. Slarty goes one-on-one against the Siberian Silver Bear, Pando. In our next bout here, big fight field, 2 hosses engaging in quite possibly the most extreme rematch that we've ever seen, and the bell has rung here. Pando taking down Slarty on the concrete there. The spinning heel kick. Pando turning his attention to the referee there. Taking him out with that trash can lid. These two behemoths, these two hosses waging war here, looking to get some sort of advantage here out towards the parking lot of the Kumite Palace. Immediate flashbacks to just shy of 2 months ago when Pando was on that initial tear. He was looking to paint a target onto the forehead of Slarty's tag team partner Sigma Shuko. Slarty made a critical intervention, a controversial intervention, running down Pando with that motorcycle. Pando from the top of the fountain here. Slarty moving out of the way. Slarty would run down Pando with the motorcycle, which turned into a 30-day suspension, 30 days in the hole for the War Machine, the man that we can now call the hardcore champion. And some of the impacts that Slarty's already taking here in this parking lot brawl, it's catching up to him. And Pando trying to drown Slarty in the fountain. Slarty trying to clear distance here from Pando. Perfect opportunity for the War Machine to recuperate, re-strategize, get into that reserve tank, try and get into the head of Pando here, and try to waste all that crucial energy. Spinning wheel kick, and the War Machine Slarty, he's been busted wide open here. Slarty has me feeling quite relieved that this isn't for the hardcore championship. A battle for control here on top of the fountain outside the parking lot here in the Kumite Palace. Slarty down but not out here. Crossbody catching Slarty from behind there. Cover.
2.
And Slarty got the shoulder up. Pando seeking out a shopping cart here, launching Slarty halfway across the fountain there. And Slarty's on the chase there. He's on the prowl he's on a bear hunt. As this continues to escalate here in the parking lot here. A very familiar scene here for the Siberian Silver Bear Pando. A nasty DDT drilling Pando into the pavement. Big clothesline taking down Slarty. And Pando, he's just an absolute beast. It's gonna take a lot to tame a beast like Pando here. He's been extremely hell-bent ever since Sigma Shuko picked up that upset victory back at Riot Act. Pando's been seeing red from the moment Slarty made his return just a couple weeks ago in the hardcore gauntlet. Pando trying to start up that motorcycle here. Trying to give Slarty a taste of his own medicine here. He might not be as experienced as Slarty is on a two-wheeler here. But it looks like he's trying to get the hang of it. Pando taking his frustrations out on the referee here. And it appears somebody's gonna need to get some pavement, some fixtures done to that car out back. Pando ramming Slarty's head into the trailer there. Pando clutching Slarty by the neck here, whipping Slarty into those rails there, those protective rails there. Pando and Slarty fighting next to some electric circuitry here. Fighting next to all these breakers that power the Kumite Palace. Pando from the top of the car here, big splash onto Slarty, cover. And the War Machine kicks out once again here. Pando, sledgehammer in hand now, trying to choke out the War Machine here. And he just throws the sledgehammer right into the back of Slarty. The lack of remorse from the Siberian Silver Bear. This is unbelievable. Now we are out towards a loading dock here. Slarty and Pando fighting by some nearby truss here. Half Nelson suplex. Oh my God! If that wasn't the ugliest tumble I've ever seen here in KPW, I don't know how the hell Slarty is even conscious right now. He's fighting through a world of hurt. He's fighting through a world of pain, and he still wants more. Time in and time out, Slarty proves to the Kumite faithful that he's one of the toughest men across all of KPW. You couldn't think of a man better suited for a match like this. And somehow, some way, if this was any other man in the Kumite locker room, he'd be fighting with a complete advantage. But Pando is an extraordinary athlete here. Slarty with that trash can. Wrap it over the head of Pando, slamming him down here onto the steel grating. It appears we found ourselves a second referee here. Elbowed from the top of that cage. And the referee got taken out by the impact. Silencer from Slarty, and Pando's up at one. You can tell how much this means to both of these men. You can tell how much they've wanted to get their hands on one another for quite some time here. Slarty looking to cinch in that lion tamer. Pando bringing some distance here, the tried and true way. Pando giving Slarty a taste of his own medicine once again with that trash can. And Pando's heading towards the training room, the locker room here. Fighting in front of those treadmills, fighting in front of that TV here. Massive spear by Pando. 1, 2. Onto that tiled floor. Slarty. We're gonna make the most out of this opportunity here. Pando gets right back into it. Irish whip is Slarty right into the TV there. There's to be a massive CRT there. That's gonna deal some considerable damage if Pando can carry out his plans here tonight against Slarty. And when KPW commissioned a bout like this, we never thought it would escalate to such heights as we're seeing here tonight. Slarty getting whipped into the wall so hard that it's beginning to crack here. CRT over the head of Slarty. And now one over to the head of our second referee. Nobody is safe around these guys. And whipped into inside blockers. Slarty pushing the locker door off the hinges. Pop-up cutter. Pando wielding that locker door. That is nothing but metal there, ladies and gentlemen. And these two are just throwing this around like a playset. Tilt-a-whirl Hurricane Rana from Pando. We've never seen such a freakish athlete here in the history of KPW, let alone professional wrestling as a whole. Pando looking to inflict more damage with a DDT onto the steel chair there. Spinning wheel kick, catching Slarty in the face there. Probably regretting the fact that he doesn't have that signature gas mask of his on. Hooking the leg here. This certainly has to be it. Pando, he's not finished. Pando broke up the pin himself. Back suplex thwarted by Pando here. Sidewalk slam. And I stand corrected. A backbreaker. Courtesy of Pando here. And I believe we're up to 3 referees that we've seen taken out courtesy of Pando here tonight. Win, lose, or draw, this man is going to be looking at one hell of a fine here from the board of directors. Pop-up cutter on the concrete here, cover, but there's no referee to count it. The referee's still out cold in the locker room. Pando retreating back into the parking lot. Spinning wheel kick. Takes down Slarty. And a massive spear right to the side of that car. And Pando's sizing up Slarty. He's got something sinister in mind for the War Machine here. I was looking to go for some rapid fire striking here. Pando going for a diving headbutt off the top of the car there. Pando sizing up Slarty for that massive drop kick, getting quite a bit of height on that. Gut wrench power bomb. That is vintage Pando in action here, and he's got the match all said and done here at this point. What more could he possibly want here? Slurry's still gonna give it his best fight. This is ultimate retribution here tonight from the Siberian Silver Bear, and Slurry's out cold. Pando, where the hell is he going? Oh my God!
1, 2, 3.
Pando went for all or nothing with a moonsault off the trailer. Lives forever change here tonight at Mayhem as Pando cheats and defies death just to put down the War Machine, just to get one over on the First Nation here tonight. We saw that hell that they were willing to inflict on one another from the fountain areas outside of the Kumite Palace to the locker rooms to the training areas to the storage sections of the Kumite Palace, especially the parking lot here. Pando has achieved retribution here as he's finally up to his feet after that incredible moonsault from the top of that trailer here. And about that, the Kumite faithful will never forget. Pando walks away the winner. And after a bout like that, who the hell could possibly in the sights of the Siberian Silver Bear next? But what's coming up next? Triple threat action for the KPW Twitch Championship as Popcorn Poppy defends against the Sauce and Josue. Josue marching down to the ring. One of the hottest new signees here in KPW, making an immediate splash in that aforementioned Hardcore Championship gauntlet. Eliminating 3 men from the gauntlet in his opening night here before finally being put away by Pando, and it was all thanks to this man, the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Sauce. The Sauce has been searching for championship gold for quite some time. He believes he's shaking off his former tag team partner, got the dead weight off of his shoulders in Jim Ross. And now he can focus on championship glory the way that he set out to do from the very beginning by himself. But he's got one hell of a roadblock awaiting him here tonight. The reigning, defending, dominant KPW Twitch champion. Who else but Popcorn Poppy? Who could forget the wars that the Sauce and Popcorn Poppy waged over the winter into the spring that are culminating in the barbed wire brawl? The Sauce was able to maintain a clear advantage over Popcorn Poppy the whole way through up until Spring Stampede, where they were both inserted into a 4 corners bout for the Twitch Championship. And since then, Popcorn Poppy has been leading the charge in the Twitch division, and everybody else has been catching up to him, including the Sauce. And now being introduced to the fray, Josue. Josue and Popcorn Poppy previously teamed up 2 weeks ago on Warzone in tag team action against the team of the Sauce and Nick Flawless. And focus has been a struggle and a half for a man the likes of the Sauce here. The Sauce thinking a bit too much about tonight here, letting Nick Flawless get the better of him last Monday night on Warzone. And if I were a betting man, he's probably thinking about that loss right now in the triple threat bout for the Twitch Championship. He's secured his ticket. He's punched in. He's got scores to settle with both of these men. And this has just been a running occurrence here for the Sauce. He's still thinking about all these other transgressions that are completely in the past. Clothesline sending the Twitch champion out of the ring. And Josue getting the better of the Sauce once again here. Tandem offense, assisted pile driver. And the relationship between the champion Popcorn Poppy and the fresh rookie in Josue. Real student mentor bond that is hit it off in record time here. Popcorn Poppy noticing the hustle that Josue is willing to put in to stay on top here in KPW, to win some championship gold here in KPW. Now Josue has that opportunity to secure the gold against his own mentor here, and at the expense of the Sauce here at Mayhem. And we circle back to the Sauce. Locking horns with Josue, locking horns with the Sauce. Excuse me, locking horns with Popcorn Poppy. Popcorn Poppy, headbutt to the groin of the Sauce. The groin of the Rhinestone Cowboy. Backslide pinfall attempt from Josue. The Sauce at the ropes, however. Jumping heel kick to Popcorn Poppy, trying to weaken the champion here, singling him out here. And this may be as close as the Sauce has ever reached championship gold in quite some time here in KPW. He walks into this bout with a 33% chance of winning the gold here. All the pressure on the champion Popcorn Poppy, however, as he has to balance his mentorship with Josue, as he continues to tutor him and guide him through the big leagues here in KPW. Can he keep his aggression in check here? Can he stay in control against the Sauce, a man that has notoriously had the man's number in the past? With one very notable exception, Spring Stampede back in March. Popcorn Poppy winning that four corners bout, eliminating all three other competitors in that match. Triple threat bouts, not under the guise of elimination rules. It is one fall to a finish, pinfall or submission. There will be an odd man out. There will be a winner. There will be a loser. And only one of these men can walk out of here tonight as the Twitch champion. Popcorn Poppy wanted to make sure it was him with that sleeper hold cinched in on Josue. And Josue is like a ball of fury here tonight. As energetic as ever. Backdrop driver. Knocking the champion a bit loopy here. Getting a bit dazed and confused here at Josue. Looking to zero in on the sauce here. Looking for that tiger driver. And the sauce just squeaks the shoulder out. I don't know if it was just because he went limp there. If he even had any control or semblance of what just happened to him with the way that he was drilled right into the mat there. Inside cradle. Cover on the champion. Popcorn Poppy kicking out. This is our first of 3 championship bouts here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The 4th championship, the Hardcore Championship, of course, not up for grabs, as we saw the Hardcore Champion in battle just moments ago against Pando in the parking lot brawl. An absolutely hellacious fight. Unbridled, pure savagery inside and out of the ring here tonight. And of course, our opening bout, in case you just missed it, ladies and gentlemen. Solo issuing out the challenge to the supposed dear leader, the man stringing together all these hits courtesy of Chaos Control, courtesy of that mysterious valet, Tori. A man that has now been revealed to be the Monarch, Oliver English, who has returned to KPW and has defeated the Scrapyard Saint. The sauce going low on Josue here. And if there's something that we could praise about this newcomer, about this rookie Josue here, he's got one hell of a gas tank in him. He's got quite the bit of stamina. And the way that he just moves around that ring as he hits the ropes and everything, he's just completely fearless. And that is exactly why a man like Popcorn Poppy, the KPW Twitch champion, took him underneath his wing. Look, partnerships, alliances, friendships are not gonna get you anywhere closer to the Twitch championship here tonight. There is no co-holders for these championships. One man must persevere. One man must stand tall amongst them all here. Roundhouse kick into the liver section of the sauce here. As I'm receiving word here from the board of directors, coming up this Monday night on Warzone, we'll actually be seeing more of Popcorn Poppy and Josue. Win, lose, or draw, we'll be seeing them in action, in tag team action, against Kruger and Papyrus, the henchmen, the hired goons, the guards of Oliver English. This Monday night at 9/8 Central. Also to come, more tag team action, of course, in the night. KPW Tag Team Championships up for grabs later as the aforementioned Chaos Control challenge Bob and Tape for the Tag Team Championships here tonight at Mayhem. Set out pile driver by Popcorn Poppy here. Looking to initiate Hostway properly here into KPW. Hostway looking to go for a backslide pin on his mentor here, Popcorn Poppy. A lot better of this situation. Lifted him over the head and down into the mat. Also confirmed for Monday night, however, more tag team action to come as we see High Velocity, Ozone, Atmosphere take on the returning duo of Big Bernard and Headband Tommy Tanks, the Influence, this Monday night. As I receive one final update for Warzone this Monday night, we'll also be seeing Ding in action. He is not here tonight, but he will be here on Monday night to compete against the Pitbull K-Dog in singles competition. Inside cradle from the Sauce here. Popcorn Poppy looking to steal one. Hostway just finally getting to his feet. And if it wasn't for the Sauce kicking out of that pinfall attempt, that could have been it for the championship. Popcorn Poppy would have stayed Twitch champion. He would have defended successfully. He would have kept that reign intact. And who knows? Who knows who the next man could possibly be to step up to the Twitch champion. Assisted pile driver from the Sauce and a Hostway there. Roundhouse kick guarded by the Sauce. We're gonna go for a neck breaker there. Bit of a rough landing there for the Sauce there. Popcorn Poppy clearing the ring there. Zeroing in on Hostway there. No love lost between these two. No special exceptions. From student to teacher. From a mentor to the young lion here, the Sauce. Dropping Popcorn Poppy with a reverse DDT here. He's all fired up here. Hostway looking to capitalize, however. Inside cradle, trapping the arms here, looking for a quick pinfall. We are here to stick with the action for as long as it takes. Popcorn Poppy and Hostway continuing the fight, continuing the brawl. Big headbutt to Hostway. And Popcorn Poppy overpowered there. The Sauce going for a lateral press here. 1 count. Hostway working down the legs of the Sauce. Popcorn Poppy working down the arms of the Sauce. The odd man out in this situation, but the man that has quite possibly instigated this situation more than anybody else here. Spinning back heel kick into the back of the head of Popcorn Poppy. He's clutching that head and neck region from the whiplash. Sauce making that intervention once again here. Hostway singling out the legs once again. Sauce operating in this bout like a caged animal, going as feral as he possibly can whenever he gets the opening to. Moving with reckless abandon. He has no loyalty to prove to any of these guys. Another backdrop driver, this time to the sauce. Manhattan drop. Moonsault, perfect landing from Josue. Josue looking to steal it. And Josue is the new Twitch champion. Tandem offense from Popcorn Poppy and Josue, setting up the sauce perfectly. That Manhattan drop moonsault combination. As Josue clears halfway across the ring. A perfect landing onto the sauce. A perfect setup, a perfect execution there. Popcorn Poppy taking in the moment a bit too long, not even realizing that his student and Josue secured the victory here tonight. And I think the realization is starting to set in for Popcorn Poppy. And while he's proud of his student for picking up the victory, it means that he's no longer the Twitch champion. Congratulations to Josue for picking up the Twitch championship in his monthly special debut here tonight at Mayhem. And coming up next, a true David versus Goliath bout here tonight. As Crisp Billy, the 7'4", 525-pound man beast, takes on the wild card Robbie Deuce in singles action here tonight. Chris Billy made his return here earlier on at Riot Act last month. And he's been a thorn in the side of Robbie Deuce for the course of the past month. Retribution for the 4 months that Chris Billy missed because of those attacks that Robbie Deuce laid out over the course of the fall and winter under the guise of a masked hitman, under the guise of a fake ding. And it looks like it may be time for Robbie Deuce to meet his maker. And this cold-blooded psychopath might not see it this way. For him, this is an opportunity to finish the job. He's been dead set on finishing the job with Chris Billy. He's made his intentions very clear that once he's done with Chris Billy, he's gonna move on to the dinger next. Bell has sounded. Both of these men looking to collide in the center of the ring. Robbie Deuce, not even half the weight of the 525-pound Chris Billy. Maybe in the fight of his life, but he holds all the psychological weight and control going into this bout. We can see Chris Billy still favoring that left elbow, that left arm still padded up. after Robbie Deuce broke it back in December. Armbar from Chris Billy. As Robbie Deuce is frantically reaching for the ropes there, he makes the break. Robbie Deuce reversing a suplex with one of his own, a snap suplex. And the strength on display from Robbie Deuce is absolutely seismic. Stupendous, even. Robbie Deuce weighing in tonight around 255 pounds here. Nearly a 300-pound difference between these two men. Chris Billy almost an entire foot taller. And yet somehow, someway, Robbie Deuce holding all the weight psychologically going into this bout. Sleeper hold cinched in from Chris Billy. Big clothesline into the corner. A quick hook taking down the man beast, the 500-plus pounder. Drop kick. Robbie Deuce has been on one hell of a mission in recent months after revealing himself as the assailant, framing the Viceroy, forever tainting that championship win for his former best friend. He has carved out a ruthless path of destiny and destruction here in KPW. He didn't secure the World Heavyweight Championship at Spring Stampede, but he has laid down some serious beatings on the likes of Sigma Shuko and Nick Flawless over the course of the previous month. As his appearances begin to grow more and more frequent here in KPW. Rib breaker from Chris Billy. Chris Billy, a franchise player from day one, a former world heavyweight champion, a former hardcore champion. Looking to seize that perfect opportunity once again. Go for the gold and put the past behind him. Bury it deep and away from any source of light. Chris Billy looking to go for the GFD here, the George Foreman drill here. Robbie Deuce is in deep water here. Drilled into the mat here. Center of the ring here. You couldn't ask for anything better for Chris Billy. And Chris Billy has vanquished the wild card. Retribution has been fully achieved for the man beast. Robbie Deuce's journey to championship goal, his path towards destiny, the one that he believes where he can become the world heavyweight champion, has become just that much more wrinkled and complicated as the wild card has been soundly defeated by the man beast. Retribution has been met, and the reparations The injured arm of Chris Billy appeared to be repaid in full here tonight. And one thing is for sure, the Dinger, he may not be here tonight. We know he'll be in action this Monday night against K-Dog. He's got to be loving this result, as this 500-pound man beast who got the first crack on Robbie Deuce softens him up in devastating fashion. Congratulations to the man beast Chris Billy for picking up such a decisive victory here tonight at Mayhem. Coming up next, Tag Team Championships up for grabs. Our second of 3 championship defenses here tonight. Both of these championship holders amidst a historic run here in KPW. Bob and Tape, of course, the tag team champions, the longest reigning tag team champions. As they reach an unparalleled 5-month championship run here. An absolute runaway train with the gold here tonight. You've seen one championship change hands here tonight, with Josue securing the Twitch Championship from Popcorn Poppy at the expense of the sauce here earlier on tonight at Mayhem. We saw Oliver English make his return as the ringleader as he sends Chaos Control on their mission here tonight. Secure the tag team gold and bring it back home. Chaos Control not flanked by Tori here tonight. That mysterious valet that has been following them around over the course of the past month, a recruiter on behalf of Oliver English. Now these two come face to face with real power here. Raw power, courtesy of the 300-pound misfit Bob. One half of the KPW Tag Team Champions, the first and only double champion in KPW history, holding on to the Twitch Championship in the very past. Bob looks to continue his reign of dominance in the tag team division while working his way up towards the top there in KPW. We've seen the work that he's put in at the expense of Hollywood Hannon just a couple weeks ago. Powerbomb after powerbomb. And somehow the role model Tape, the other half of the tag team champions, he's somehow been able to tame Bob in that time since. But tonight he lets the misfit run loose. He lets the inmate run the asylum here tonight inside the ring here. Tag team championships up for grabs here. Kruger starting the bout off against Bob. Kruger is the lighter of these two men, and he's still about 320 pounds here. Guillotine choke counter from that spear attempt for Bob. Big clothesline taking down Kruger. Single leg takedown Retaliation for Kruger to Bob. A quick chain of action and reaction for both of these teams. 60-minute time limit in effect for championship bouts here. Our second of 3 championship bouts here tonight at Mayhem, with only one left to go after this. The main event for the World Heavyweight Championship inside the steel cage. Jedi versus Pierre Cinema 3. Coming up next. Bob and Tape, of course, one of the more unlikely teams here in KPW. One of the most odd paired duos here in KPW, but it's proven to make them the most successful tag team that KPW's ever seen here. Picking up victories against the likes of the Influence, the Boise Boys, the First Nation, the Raging Bulls. Canadian backbreaker onto Tape here. But Tape doesn't quit. He's not going to quit this easy. He's not going to quit this early. He knows what's up for stake here. He's etched his place permanently in the history books here in KPW. And him and Bob have no intentions of slowing down anytime soon. Tag made to Papyrus, the 400-plus pounder. Tandem offense from the tag team champions. Knee strikes from Tape. Sleeper hold from Bob. As Tape reaches over to make the tag to Bob, not before securing some safety here. Tandem offense from the tag team champions. Irish whip reversal. Tape hitting the ropes. Big back body drop from Papyrus. And we've seen these multi-man bouts here that Papyrus has undertaken here in KPW. We've seen how well he operates with this amount of pressure working under him. And against him, tornado backbreaker from Tape. And now it's the two big men, Bob, Papyrus, squaring off, dueling in the middle of the ring here. Suplex towards the corner there. Arm elbow tie up, big headbutt from Bob. Knee drop. Keeping the pressure up on the big 400-plus pound Papyrus. Representing Chaos Control, representing Oliver English. We hope to get more answers regarding the partnership between Oliver English and Chaos Control over the course of the next several weeks here. Shot block taking down Papyrus, but Kruger makes the tag beforehand. Hook kick from Bob. Sizing and scaling up Kruger. Both these teams wearing primarily white here tonight. Chaos Control with the purple accent. The tag team champions Bob and Tape with blue accents. Tape makes the tag here. Tape's been in one hell of a rough patch in recent weeks. Triple threat action just last Monday night. Tape, Papyrus, David Rush. For David Rush got retribution, got some revenge for his tag team partner by getting one over on Tape to send a message to Bob here. Drilling Tape with some Yellowstone eruption. Tape sizing up Kruger, looking to go for some springboard action. Missile drop kick. Pendulum backbreaker, slowing things down as the champions maintain control of this bout here tonight. Running shoulder block, taking down Tape with ease. Running kitchen sink, taking down Kruger with ease. A rolling wheel kick from the 400-pounder as Papyrus continues to impress with his athleticism, his agility, his quick thinking. Moves around that ring like a damn panther. Constantly on the prowl, constantly catching his opponents off guard. Tape looking to steal one on Papyrus. Not even a one count that time, as he couldn't get the leverage on the big man. Hurricanrana on Kruger as he tries to buy some time for Bob in the corner of the ring. Referee's giving Tape to the count of 5 to get outside the ring, get back into his corner, get back towards the tag rope. Now Bob working down the arms of Papyrus. Irish whip into Tape here, back body drop. And Bob is isolated. He is sandwiched in between both members of Chaos Control. This could be disastrous for the champions. Papyrus trying to slow down Bob with those shoulder strikes, trying to pop the arm out of the socket there. Neutralize the strength advantage that Bob maintains and holds for their team, holds for the champions. Whipping to the turnbuckle. Tape makes the tag, drop kick. Sweep kick taking down Kruger. An excellent counter from the role model Tape. The champions are in one hell of a fight to maintain the tag team gold here tonight. Big suplex from Kruger. Bob and Tape employing frequent tags here tonight to try and maintain their energy, maintain their stamina. Balance out the damage that Chaos Control is able to put down on them. We're gonna give these guys one hell of a fight here tonight. And should Chaos Control walk away the victors, they're not gonna make it look easy. They're not gonna give them anything less than 100%. Tape with the steel steps here. Kruger and Tape battling over the steel steps here. Tape bringing Kruger through the ropes there. Drilling him with the steps. Cleaning his clock. and leaving a good imprint on his forehead. Those gigantic steps. Big splash from Papyrus. Bob trying to restrain the arms of Papyrus, but he just couldn't get the reach around him. Tag made to Bob. Scaling over the top rope. Launching himself into battle. Launching himself into war here. We may be getting some answers here on Monday night. The conclusion between the champions and the Boise Boys settle the score once and for all, as the board of directors have just confirmed another bout for Warzone this Monday night at 9/8 Central. You'll be seeing Bob go one-on-one against the record breaker, the leader of the Boise Boys, David Rush. Arm elbow tie up here. Irish whip reversal into the corner. Big boot taking down Papyrus. Camel clutch, but Papyrus, those long legs of his, was able to reach the ropes very easily. Hyperextend them as far as he can there. Russian leg sweep from Papyrus. Kruger going low on Bob there. Bob reciprocating those feelings with a big clothesline from the mat upwards into the jawline of Kruger. Landing one hell of a stiff shot on Kruger of Chaos Control. Tape leaping into action now. Reverse figure four leg lock. He's gonna try and make Kruger tap here, ladies and gentlemen. And Kruger gets out of the figure four. Tape not quitting yet. He's trying to commit. He wants to make Kruger submit here as he retreats back to that figure four leg lock. Kruger going low on Tape now. Arm breaker courtesy of Tape. Picking up Kruger. Kruger going for the eyes of the champion. The Kumite Palace firmly behind the champions here tonight. Still in shock after the return of Oliver English earlier on tonight in our opening bout here. Tape suplex to the outside, down to the floor, over the top rope. After he unsuccessfully tried to suplex the 400-pound Papyrus over the top rope into the ring, Papyrus snaps him back into reality over the top rope and down to the floor here. Down to 12 here. Tape going for a hockey stick, looking for that equalizer. Kruger with a table, half a table at least. Action spilling to the outside. Bob and Tape, they might just be throwing caution to the wind. They know a disqualification victory is to their benefit here. If this reaches a 20 count, they will remain the tag team champions. Count of 15. Count of 16. Both these teams, both of the legal men, Kruger, Tape, they need to get back into the ring. And they beat the count. This bout, this tag team championship bout continues. Irish whip into the corner. Bob looking to go for a big boot, ricocheting right off the ropes. foot meeting face there. Irish whip into the ropes, power slam by Bob. We are here to stick with the action for as long as it takes. 60-minute time limit for championship defenses. We've seen the wars that Bob and Tape have been willing to wage just to stay champions against the Raging Bulls, against the Bam Bus, against the First Nation, against the Influence, against the Boise Boys. We are here to see if they will maintain that same stance, if they could keep up to that standard that they have fought for against Chaos Control. Big clothesline, taking Bob over the top rope and down to the floor. Bob quickly returning to the ring. Double-handed choke, two-handed choke. Bob reaching the ropes blindly there. Flailing his arms however he could until he could get a grip on that top rope there. Had to feel very unnatural for a man the size of Bob, that 300-pound misfit. That big, nasty bastard. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Desperate measures might be what they need to stay champions here between Bob and Tape. They can keep their emotions in check here. They may be able to walk away champions here. Inside cradle by Tape here. 1 count. If Papyrus is a big man, that is a tough man to try and take down with a schoolboy pinfall attempt. Tag made to Bob. Roundhouse kick to Papyrus. We've seen him take out Papyrus with that roundhouse kick 2 weeks ago on Warzone. A devastating knockout blow if Tape could secure it on either one of these men. A move that many critics have considered the secret weapon of the tag team champions. Tape can knock out either one of these men with that roundhouse kick. They may be able to retain the championship via referee stoppage. We've seen it one time before during KPW history. Clutch pile driver, 2 count. We've only seen one other tag team bout for the gold stop via TKO. It was back at Fully Loaded 2024. Springboard offside moonsault onto Papyrus there. And Kruger with the steel chair, splitting Tape wide open. It is just absolute pandemonium on the outside here. Count of 17 here. 18. 19. We might have a count-out victory for the champions. And Tape, with that big laceration over his forehead, courtesy of the steel chair shot, still had the wherewithal, the muscle memory to hold back Chaos Control from securing the belts. This isn't a strategy that Bob and Tape are above using We've seen them do this one time before to retain the gold against the Influence a couple months back. We know that Oliver English can't be pleased about the results of this tag team championship bout here, as some of his plans continue to be thwarted here, courtesy of Bob and Tape. Solo unsuccessfully trying to damper the return of the ringleader, the return of the Monarch. But what was successful was the defense of the tag team champions as Bob and Tape continue their historic tag team championship reign here. Congratulations to Bob and Tape for overcoming Chaos Control in an intense bout for the tag team gold. And coming up next, World Heavyweight Championship up for grabs. The war to settle the score, the rage in the cage. World Heavyweight Championship on the line as Jedi goes one-on-one against Pierre Cinema one final time. As we get a look at the tail of the tape, Jedi with the slight reach advantage, Pierre with the slight weight advantage to equal it out. We've seen these two protect each other on the way towards this big fight here earlier in the month, running through the likes of the Bam Bus, Robbie Deuce, clearing the competition however they can, facing quite a bit of adversity just to ensure that they could settle the score once and for all there. We saw the deal was called off last Monday night after Jedi was defeated, and even by the Bam Bus in tag team competition. But he has the chance to rectify things. He has the chance to stand tall against his bitter rival once and for all here, as his reign as the KPW World Heavyweight Champion reaches 218 days, absolutely unparalleled in KPW history. A historic 7-month championship reign. He holds 2 victories over his rival Pierre Cinema. Pierre Cinema earning this opportunity last month at Riot Act by defeating Popo in a World Heavyweight Championship contenders bout. But Pierre is no slouch when it comes to accolades, winning the 2024 Golden Gauntlet to get a crack at Jedi when he first won the championship. In the meantime, he's become a successful Twitch champion. And now Pierre Cinema is set out to do what he's always intended to do from the very beginning. In our main event here tonight, World Heavyweight Championship, Jedi versus Pierre. As I'm getting word here, what the hell is going on? Apparently there's some sort of scuffle going on backstage here in the locker room at Mayhem here tonight. We gotta get some cameras in on this. We gotta get some cameramen on this action here. And Popo picking a fight with Pierre Cinema before the bell even rings. But Pierre Cinema, he's been on high alert. He's been on high guard. As this fight continues into the locker room here from the hallway, looks like Pierre Cinema was just about ready to walk out and head to war with the Viceroy inside the steel cage here. The heartthrob Popo looking to seriously jeopardize Pierre Cinema's chances just to get one bit closer to Jedi. We can't forget that Popo has his laundry list of issues with the Viceroy as well. Pierre Cinema. He firmly believes that this night is all about him here tonight. Brainbuster on the steel chair there. It appears that Chris Billy standing outside the door there, making sure nobody gets in. Absolutely shocking development here. He wants to make sure that this fight goes through as intended here. Here's Cinema getting the better of Popo here, anticipating that surprise attack. We haven't seen Popo since he lost to Pierre Cinema back at Riot Act. Pierre destruction through the tables. And the heartthrobs have wiped out. Pierre Cinema is making his way down to ringside. Loosening up the wrist tape here. Pierre Cinema's fired up. He's pissed off. This is the night of his life here. And he's not gonna let somebody like Popo try and tarnish it. Wasting no time whatsoever, the Viceroy Jedi gets his hands on Pierre Cinema one last time, one final time to settle the score. World Heavyweight Championship up for grabs. Inside the steel cage, it is Jedi versus PR3 in the main event of Mayhem. Right here, right now. Jedi fights for personal glory going into this bout. Pierre Cinema fighting for the support of the Kumite faithful. Even if they never had, even in times when they didn't have his side, if they never had his back, you can at least appreciate that the respect that they had in regards to Pierre Cinema deep down. Making sure that Pierre would go out his way to steal the show each and every night here. As Jedi rams Pierre's face into the cage here. The only way to win is by escaping the cage here. Jedi picking up a lot of steam there. Looking to get this done and over with as quick as he can here. And the results have to be absolutely disastrous for both of these men. And I don't think either one of these men can really afford to lose here tonight. The stakes are so high. How much further can these two push it? Big clothesline from Pierre Cinema, taking down the Viceroy, taking down the World Heavyweight Champion. Jedi's already etched his place in history, but he's got a long climb back to the top. If Pierre Cinema gets the better of him here tonight, you know, the doubt issue, the self-confidence that was waning over the course of the past several months with Pierre Cinema. He believes that he is only worthy of being a world heavyweight champion, and he could only achieve that inside the cage here tonight. The Viceroy is already undefeated against Pierre Cinema, defeating him twice over the course of the past 10 months. Pierre Cinema still trying to shake that cage here. Jedi almost all the way out there, and he takes a nasty fall into the ring. Long line of challengers waiting to step up here. There'll be no rematches between either of these men for the foreseeable future. Here's Cinema from the top rope here. Cross body. Running forearm smash, taking down Pierre Cinema. Knife edge chop. Spinning wheel kick. Drop kick. And now it is Pierre ramming Jedi's face into the steel. And the champion looks absolutely starstruck as he struggles to get back to his feet here. Pierre scaling the cage here. And now Jedi trying to shake him off the top there. Pierre's very close to securing the victory. And this bout, this main event bout continues. Big stomp from the World Heavyweight Champion. Jumping back elbow from the challenger, Pierre Cinema. Spinning wheel kick, taking down the Viceroy. And these two have known each other so well over the course of the past 10 months. So much animosity built up between these two. Who could ever forget the war that they waged against each other back at Summer Spark last year, back at Collision Course after the events of the Golden Gauntlet. Both of these bouts that you can go back and rewatch, courtesy of the Archive channel. Every event on demand, including this one, as early as tomorrow morning. Both these men leading an uneasy partnership just to get inside this cage. And now there's a race for both of these men to put everything in the past and leave the cage with the World Heavyweight Championship. Jedi's head getting rammed into the cage, not once, but twice. Not twice, but 3 times now. You're looking for a 4th smash into the cage there. Every side of the cage has come in contact with the face of the champion. The star attraction, France's greatest export, in firm control here in the opening minutes here. Aerial offense from the wall of the cage here as Pierre drops the elbow on the champion. Irish whip into the corner there. Big splash taking down Jedi. A kick to the thigh of Jedi, taking him down. Here, pumping the brakes, ramming Jedi's face into the cage once again here. Back suplex, center of the ring here. Here, looking to secure an opportunity to scale the cage here. He might have other intentions here. Another cross body from the top rope. And now Pierre scales the cage once again here. He's got one hell of a head start. Jedi needs to catch up. His championship reign depends on it. And Pierre was able to... Pierre falls from the wall of the cage once again, but Jedi got caught in the crossfire. Both of these men playing with fire here. Pierre's head getting rammed into the steel cage, and he's been busted wide open, ladies and gentlemen. The star attraction is gonna need a rhinoplasty after the events of this bout. He is bleeding profusely here tonight. Wearing a crimson mask here. He's on high alert. He's got a quick trigger finger courtesy of the heartthrob Popo. Trying to influence the events of this main event bout here, trying to make sure that Pierre Cinema couldn't make it to the main event. Here looking to choke the life out of the Viceroy, choke the life out of the World Heavyweight Championship reign, the dominant reign of the Viceroy. Who marched into KPW 10 months ago at Cyber Sunday on a mission to conquer KPW, to run it all and rule it with underneath his iron fist. Something that he has achieved very soundly, very profoundly, becoming the most dominant champion that KPW's ever seen. 10 months with the company, and he's been champion for over 7 months of that. As the world champion, here's Cinema, leg lariat, cartwheeling back into the other corner of the ring. We're gonna go for a second one. Trying to keep the Viceroy down here. Ramming Jedi's face into the cage once again. Here's Cinema. Irish whip into the corner here. Going up top here. What the hell is this? Shades of Collision Course. A brainbuster, a sledgehammer from the top. This is the chance that Pierre needs to get out of the cage, make history, etch his name in the history books. And now it is Jedi meeting Pierre halfway up to the top here as he tries to get one over one last time, making it personal. And Jedi almost made it over the top there. The exhaustion catching up to Pierre Cinema. He falls graciously from the cage once again. Quick jab taking down the Viceroy, ramming his head into the turnbuckle there. Crossface chicken wing into the corner, pushing Jedi into the cage, into the corner there. Ramming his head into the corner of the ring once again here. Another snap jab to take down the Viceroy. And now the star attraction, France's greatest export, Pierre Cinema, looking to strut and stroll here. His face might be a bloody mess, but he is in firm control here as he continues to strut and stroll, try to get inside the mind of the champion. Jedi covering up however he can. Swinging DDT onto Pierre Cinema. Jedi making a beeline for the top of the cage here. And Pierre's right there to bring him back into the fight. Irish whip reversal from Pierre Cinema. Looking to stop a mud hole in the champion, run him dry here. And that ring mat absolutely drenched in the blood of the challenger. A man that has been more than willing to give his blood, his sweat, and his tears just to obtain the championship gold here. It's all he's ever dreamed of ever since he made it into KPW. It's been his primary goal here. But Jedi has consistently been one step ahead of the challenger. It has been his absolute goal here to run it all. And a part of that has been keeping those dreams exactly what they have been, just dreams. Taking Jedi up top here, superplex. Here's Cinema halfway across the ring here, shooting star press. And Pierre's not done. He's leaping back up to the top rope there, cross body. He is frantically moving, doing whatever he can to keep the Viceroy down. Another Pierre destruction. We're gonna shake, roll a massive knee drop onto Jedi here. Pierre sprinting for the other side of the cage. They're leaping up there like a mountain lion. And now Jedi making the scale here. Pierre in critical conditions here. Jedi almost over the top. And he loses his grip from the shaking of the wall there. Here looking to go for a brain buster. Jedi trying to weaken up the arms of Pierre Cinema, make it harder for him to climb and scale the cage there. Make it impossible for the challenger to overcome the champion to become the new world heavyweight champion. Pierre Cinema's got one hell of an albatross over his shoulder here. Back suplex onto the champion Jedi. A man that's been holding all the cards, using them all against Pierre Cinema. Here looking to scale the cage once again here. Thinking better of it. Having second thoughts, looking to... Looks like he's planning to finish the job here instead here. You're ramming Jedi's face into the cage. Not once, but twice. And what a physical bout this has been. Belly to back suplex. Look at how much the World Heavyweight Championship, the grandest prize of them all, the pre-platinum. Look at how much this means to both of these men. They are not willing to give an inch to each other because they know that if they do such a thing, they have quite a mile to gain over one another. Drop kick from the Viceroy, taking down the challenger. Spinning wheel kick, taking down the Viceroy. Belly to back suplex onto Jedi here. Knee drop, driving it into the heart of the Viceroy. And Jedi is as defiant as ever. As resilient as he's ever been here. Blockbuster from the second rope here. Irish whip into the ropes here. Manhattan drop. Below the belt impact for the champion. Rib breaker. Forearm strike from the challenger. Jedi looking to go for a brain buster there. Pierre floats out of it. Release German suplex towards the corner. I think he's finally signaling for the end here. Ramming his face into the cage. Looking for a Pierre destruction. I believe that's for the third time in this bout. Ripping Jedi into the corner there. He has no idea where the hell he's at. He's completely unconscious. Pierre Cinema making the most out of this. He's scaling the cage. Jedi is in critical danger here. He needs to wake up. He needs to get out of the tree of woe there. And Pierre Cinema on the other side of the cage there. Both feet have touched the floor. The cinematic era has begun. A fairy tale ending here tonight at Mayhem. Through pure determination. Over a year in the making. A ferocious climb back to the top. Pierre Cinema wasn't able to put the Viceroy down back at Summer Spark. He wasn't able to do it. Back at Collision Course, the Viceroy may have won those battles. But inside the cage here tonight, he has lost the war. He has lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Pierre Cinema. And the blood just continues to pour down the face of the challenger. The new World Heavyweight Champion. History has been made. 218 days as World Heavyweight Champion. That is nothing to scoff at. There is nothing to be ashamed of. As the Viceroy mowed down through a long list of challengers, but it took all the experience that Pierre Cinema had built up over the course of the better part of a year to get to this very moment. He has finally achieved his goal from the moment he stepped foot here in KPW back in April 2024. Pierre Cinema could finally call himself the World Heavyweight Champion.